Finally, this hour, residents in the neighborhood of Greenwich Village can expect to see more greenery in the coming years. The Village Alliance Business Improvement District is launching its first streetscape initiative in more than 20 years. It is called Project Green. It is a 5-year, $2 million fundraising campaign, and it's aimed at bringing more tree beds and shrub planters and pocket parks to the iconic neighborhood. The project plans to not just beautify the streets, but to also support the local businesses in Greenwich Village. Joining me now to talk more about this, the Executive Director of the Village Alliance, Scott Hobbs. First of all, thank you for coming on the Rush Hour.
Thank you for having me.
And so tell us about this project and what the overall goal is.
Yeah, so we launched this, or we are launching this project this week as a fundraiser for the area, but it really started a couple of months ago when we did a district needs assessment of our district. We walked through to see what areas we could improve upon, and we found that a lot of the streetscape had not been significantly invested in quite some time. We see neighboring areas getting a lot of investment in their streetscape, and so because Greenwich Village is home to so many small businesses, we didn't want to burden our businesses with the expense of raising money directly from them to beautify the area, which really improves the area for residents, visitors, and everyone that comes to Greenwich Village. So we put together this plan, and we decided to launch it and raise the money privately.
So privately, does that mean you're looking to foundations and potentially local residents, or where are the main sources of that funding? Yeah,
we're looking for any foundations, private residents. We were kickstarted with money from NYU, New York State Senator Brian Kavanaugh, and a local property owner, Buckbinder and Warren, which provided the seed to launch this campaign.
And this area that you're talking about, just talk generally about the boundaries of where Project Green will be.
Sure. So we're the commercial district just north of Washington Square Park. So mostly 8th Street from 6th Avenue all the way to 2nd Avenue. So a bit of St. Mark's, Astor Place, University Place up to 13th, and 6th between 13th and West 4th.
And this is just the fundraising part. So what's the timeline, ideally, that we would see the actual greenery coming?
Well, we've already started. So with our initial funding, we were able to expand tree beds on 8th Street between University Place and 5th Avenue. With the funding we're expecting from State Senator Kavanaugh, we hope to do a much greater stretch of 8th Street. We're using standard city materials, so this means that we can implement as soon as we get the funding. So as soon as we get enough money to do a couple of blocks, we implement right away. It's not like we're waiting to raise a certain threshold and then implement.
And how does beautifying the neighborhood help the local businesses?
So beautifying the neighborhood makes a more pleasant environment for pedestrians to walk down. It makes the streets feel safer. It creates shade in the summer when it's incredibly hot, and it just improves the overall aesthetic of the neighborhood, which is known for greenery.
Yeah, absolutely, which is what I was going to say. Sometimes it wouldn't stand to reason that, oh, what's missing in the village is greenery, but I guess more is more.
Yep.
But I do have a question about that, because oftentimes you walk down the street and there's a lot of greenery, and that actually makes it difficult for pedestrians because they get squeezed because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, we're not reducing the width of the sidewalk. It's more expanding the tree beds along which is better for tree health. Another part of this plan is there's parts of the district that have subsurface infrastructure, so it can't support in-ground trees. And so we're looking to do large planters to provide shade trees for some of these corridors. We find that these corridors actually have higher retail vacancy in general, and we hope this helps to fill these spaces.
What is the retail vacancy like? Because I mean, it goes through periods of being like the hot neighborhood, a bunch of retailers come in, and then it sometimes seems like they pack up and move to a different neighborhood. What's the vacancy like right now? So
the vacancy rate's about 8%, which is incredibly low. We've been very fortunate, and I think because most of our businesses are small independent businesses, we've done really well sort of keeping the streets occupied with businesses. That said, because it's such a high value market and high rent market, that's why we don't want to burden these businesses with the cost of beautifying the neighborhood.
Yeah, it is a special neighborhood, especially special because there are so many local small businesses. Good luck with the project.
Thank you
Keep
so
us
much.
posted
All right,
on
thank
how
you.
it goes
Thank you.
as the shrubs get planted along the way. Scott Hobbs, Executive Director of the Village Alliance. And that'll do it for this hour of news. The Rush Hour will be right back.